Hello, hello. Welcome to Fierce Friday. My name is Stephanie Dawn. I'm the chair of the Million Mom Movement Council, and I'm so excited to be joined here by my council members today, who you'll be hearing from in a moment. Every week on Fridays, we come together to really connect, to educate, to up-level all that we know about what's going on with our food and really how corrupted our food systems are here in the United States and Canada and all over the world globally. So we're a bunch of mama bear activists who have created this experience for you all to really learn and to grow with us, because we need each other right now, don't we? To be just taking it all to the next level in terms of our own health, our own well-being, and our family's health and well-being. So Fierce Friday got started a year and a half ago with just a handful of people. We came together to really help educate our community, our friends, our family, our colleagues about toxins in our food, specifically glyphosate. So glyphosate is the most widely used herbicide in the world. And in a few weeks here in June, we're going to be going deep into what glyphosate is and toxins in food. So I'm excited for that one coming up in just a couple weeks. But I'll be going a lot deeper into what is glyphosate, because it's big. And so, I healed my own boy from, from gut dysbiosis over most of his young life. He was eating toxic Cheerios, and he got well because of our amazing product Biomedic. And it wasn't enough for me to heal my own child. I had to elevate the conversation around glyphosate in our food here within our community. So that's how Fierce Friday was born. And we're going to say a little bit more about what that has evolved into in just a few moments. But the first thing that I want to do is bring on a very precious member of the Million Mom Movement community. Her name is Leora, and she is going to share the Million Mom Movement pledge. Take it away, Leora.
Morning, everybody. So this is a pledge on Million Mom Movement website, and I'll be reading it. Please join in. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I'm committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
What's the movement of many?
It means dads, uncles, aunts, teachers, anybody who wants to join can, as long as they care about their kids, clean living, and healthy foods.
Woohoo! Right on. Way to knock the ball out of the park, Leora. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to introduce you to my fellow council member, Carmela Velarde. She is going to share about scholarships. Welcome, Carmela.
Thank you. And thank you, Leora, for joining us today on our council introductions. So I'm Carmela Velarde. I am a Blue Diamond with the company, and I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm a mom of two, and I'm very passionate to talk about the scholarships because I just recently this month been awarded one of my recipients. So I'm in training with my third scholarship recipient in my team. And it's just a blessing. It's a blessing what this company has been giving back to this community. So the new recipient, she's a grandmother helping her daughters raise them. So while they're hard at work, and her name is Kay Carlande. So I just want to give a shout out. And I'm really excited to have all the other recipients and scholarship recipients here today. We are a community of growing business brand partners, and this scholarship is focused on finding those who want to share their message, share their voice. And so much of what we do is about our health journey, but it's also our business and wealth journey into our transformation. So it's an exciting journey to be a part of and to be an upline support for. And really, you can go into our website, themillionmommovement.info, go to the application, and you can see there that it is for the US and Canadian citizens that are available for those who have economic need. So if they are a caregiver, we admitted our first male this past month. So that's exciting. We have more men coming in, and we've given over $300,000 worth of organic superfoods through these scholarships. So Dave and Amy and our council are very committed to support those scholarship winners to up-level their life through our scholarship. So please take a look at that and pass the word on. Back to you, Stephanie.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carmela. Yeah, Purium gives. We give big. I'm very, very proud of our scholarship program. Okay, we are going to pass the baton to my colleague Taz Ferreira in Quebec, Montreal, Quebec. So welcome, bienvenue.
Oh, merci. Thank you, everyone. So I'm Taz Ferreira from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Okay, you know what Stephanie was talking about, that her son was directly affected by Cheerios? Well, this is a huge pandemic, okay? We have glyphosate in all of our foods, and you know what? They don't need to label there's glyphosate inside. And so many of you reach out to me and you ask, how can I be more involved? Well, here is a way that you can cause major impact and be more involved. We have a petition. We have this petition to remove glyphosate in Cheerios. Last I checked, we are at 1,070 signatures. That's amazing. Congratulations to all of you. But we need more. We need more. You need to share it. Everyone you know, if they care about the health of their family and friends, they need to be signing this because we need them to market glyphosate. So we know what to look for, because so many people say, how do we even know there's glyphosate inside? That's the problem. We need to bring more awareness and labeling in all of our food and inviting them to the Fierce Friday call. So I'll pass it on to Naiva, who will be talking about social media. Back to you, Naiva.
Actually, just one sec, Naiva, before you come on, I just have to interject. It's unacceptable that General Mills is profiting in the billions annually by selling us toxic food. Just had to say that. Okay, Naiva, let's go to you in Kauai.
Hey, it's so true. We all need to know more about this toxin in our food, and what we don't know, we don't know. So we have to go out there and educate. So thank you all for joining us today for Fierce Friday, and invite your friends to come back for more. And you can learn more through our social media platforms. So we have a social media that we use. On Instagram is the first one that I primarily look for your posts, and you can use these hashtags that we have up on the screen. So on Instagram at Million Mom Movement, you can go ahead and use those hashtags on your posts so that way I can better find you and repost some of what you're sharing. You can also find us on Facebook, Million Mom Movement. And then we also have a Facebook official group where we'd love to invite you to come and participate, share your stories there, share what you're up to, share what's inspiring you, and become a part of the community there. Let yourself be known and recognized in that group, because that's where our community is. So I also just created a post within the Million Mom Movement official group. I will be doing a social media training on the 25th of this month on our Fierce Friday. So please go and comment on that post what it is that you would like to be trained on through social media, and I will do my best to deliver that on the 25th on our Fierce Friday. So back to you, Steph.
Thank you so much, Naiva. We value all that you do so much for this movement. You are amazing. Yes, I'm excited to watch our numbers grow on the social networks. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. Jodi Parker, we're going into Jodi's kitchen today. How much do we love Jodi? Can we just drop in the chat how much? Oh, it's 11:11. Hello. How much do we love Jodi Parker and all that you drop all the time, my dear? Jodi is a mom of 3. She's a very intelligent woman who has helped many, many hundreds, probably even thousands of families create radiant health and wellness in their lives and really reverse some very serious health issues. So she's going to show us how to make healthy summer snacks. And we're all going to be here with you, Jodi, in your kitchen today. Thank you so much for offering to do this for us today.
This is so much fun. Thank you, first of all, for that great introduction. And thank you guys for the love in the chat. it makes me feel kind of warm fuzzy. I got goosebumps. So I appreciate that. This is my daughter, Leora. My sons are hanging out over here, and they'll be.
Hi, hello, it's me. I'm one of the sons.
Yeah, me too.
Welcome to my world, everybody. This is literally my kitchen. So my older one, that's Joshua. The middle one, that's Kason, and this is Leora. And she has celebrated a birthday since last you saw her. So she's no longer 7. She's 8 years old now. And so
Happy birthday, Leora.
Happy
We
birthday.
love you.
So we've been doing this series, SAD to RAD, the standard American diet to the real American diet. And we've seen parts 1 and 2 that Tess Ferreira hosted for us. And during that second one, everybody started asking about snacks. And I happen to know a thing or two about snacks. So I volunteered. I will do SAD to RAD part 3. And I have to give props to Joshua because he is the one who came up with that acronym for RAD, the real American diet. So that's all him. None of us had anything to do with it. So as a family, we're super sensitive, lots of food allergies. We can't do chemicals at all. We have to eat very pure. This has been our lifestyle since Joshua was an infant and got very, very ill. And so I have to get really creative in the kitchen and with snacks, because if you're out there and you're grocery shopping and let's say you want to go gluten-free and you buy the gluten-free cereal bar and you realize it's not organic. And now we know it has glyphosate in it if it's not organic. So we're trying to be healthy by going gluten-free, but we're still eating glyphosate, which is probably what's causing the upset in the intestines anyway, right? So I started making my own thing. And we're allergic to dairy, so we can't do cheese and milk and creamy things. And we can't do things like Rice Krispie treats and milk chocolate things. And I didn't want my kids to suffer for, never getting to have any kind of treat. So I created my own. So today I'm going to take you through some ideas about how you can do that. Now, I am the cook in the kitchen that literally, I kid you not, throws things in a bowl. This is how one of the recipes started that I'm going to show you today. I don't measure anything. I just throw things. So I did measure for you today. But I'm going to give you some guidelines when you're making treats for your family. And I made 2. I'll start with the healthy snacks and the desserts. All right, so we've got this. Oops, did I get the right one? Yes, I did. Sorry. Too many things open on my computer, guys. All right, healthy snack bars and desserts. So you need a base. And I will post these. These are JPEGs. I'll post them in the Million Mom Movement official group on Facebook when we're done here so that you guys can see these. And eventually there will probably be a blog post that has this in it as well. But you need a base. And the base is what makes everything stick together. Because if you're making a cereal bar or a cookie or anything that you want to be able to take with you somewhere, then it needs to stick to itself. And for us, a lot of these recipes came out of going on vacation and needing to take something with us that I didn't have to refrigerate. So your base are going to be things like dates, figs, raisins, honey, nuts or seed butters, coconut oil, or chocolate. So that's the idea behind the base. And then you pick a superfood. So you can see in my kitchen behind me, everything's splayed out behind me so that I could grab it easily today. But that's a list of all the things I put in these treats, in these snacks. Now, of course, you're not going to put all of them in the same, but you can play with the flavors and you can make fudge and put a little chocolate and some MVP kids or Epigenius kids and some tropic oil and throw some barley green juice in there. They'll never taste it. They won't know, but now you've just made a treat even healthier and more nutrient dense. So my goal is always to make things as nutrient dense as I can make them and still have them eat it.
Yummy.
Right? She's gotten really creative in the kitchen. And then you want to create flavors, and spices are great for that. Cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, peppermint, all the different things you can think of. What flavors do you like? I mean, if you like spice, then, chocolate cayenne, but whatever you want to do to create the flavors that you like most in your family. Cacao or cocoa powders are great for adding more flavor. Any kind of dried fruit. I have a kid that loves mango. organic cereal. So today I'm going to be making something with sprouted rice cereal, but you can use oats or organic O's, because we talked about Cheerios already today, right? Or nuts and seeds. And you're going to see a lot of that in what I'm doing today. So I'm going to stop the share here. And what I'm making today, we're going to have to do in parts. All right. So I'm going to start with a recipe that's up on the Million Mom Movement website already. Let's see if I can bring this up. Hold on. Wait, stop share. I got to actually open the window so you guys can see this. So we call these superfood chocolate crisp bars.
No, it's chocolate broccoli bars.
My kids call them chocolate broccoli bars. Because the green spectrum that is added into it makes it look green. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's up here on the millionmommovement.info under recipes. Look under desserts, you will see it. Here, let me scroll up for you. Superfood chocolate crunch bars. You can see in that picture, that's the finished product, and you can see that they're green and it looks a little bit like broccoli. And that is why my kids call it chocolate broccoli bars.
It doesn't taste like broccoli. You can't even tell if you put greens in it.
No, you can't taste the greens at all. The greens are this green spectrum. It does have broccoli in it. But all right, I'm just going to show you this. You can go look at it later. I've got it all mostly pre-made at the moment. So your dry ingredients, your chia seeds, hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, coconut flakes, brown rice crisps, and the green spectrum. Now, you could do that with, you know, sliced almonds. You can do it with anything that you can think of that you as a family like, that you want in a crunch bar. You don't have to do this. Why am I using so much? I mean, there's what, 7, 8 cups of things, no, 9 cups of things in that, because they're kind of a pain to make and they take some time and they love them. So I freeze them. So that's why the recipe is so big.
I have a question, Jodi. The 5 tablespoons of green spectrum, could you insert or, you know, add in more greens or power shake instead? And would you change the amount at all? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so if you were using more greens or the power shake, that's going to have the grains and the rice bran in it, which is going to make it thicker. So I don't think I would use quite as much, maybe a tablespoon less because of that thickness. But Kamut blend or barley greens, yeah, totally just do exactly the same thing with either of those. The reason I specifically chose green spectrum for this recipe, when I originally made it, we were going to Disney World. I needed them to have omega-3s. I needed them to have protein. I needed them to have iodine because we were flying and I wanted to deal with the radiation from flying. And the green spectrum was the best source of having that iodine. And that's why the hemp seeds and the chia seeds and those omega-3s came in. So that was my thought process behind it. But yes, you absolutely could pick some other powder. If you wanted to be fruity, put biofruit or can't beat this in there.
Okay.
You could
do. So we can switch out like one of these like you had like all those superfoods on that list on that slide. So we could put Kamut blend in instead of green spectrum and it would be the same amount, like 1 for 1, you're saying. Okay.
For the Kamut blend and for the barley green juice. But for the power shake or the more greens, I mean, I've never tried it, but I would probably do a little bit less because the rice bran solubles and the grains in those, it's going to make it thicker. It'll change the texture.
Okay.
So you just play with that. But
got it.
You've got so much flavor in this that you're going to hide whatever. It doesn't taste like greens. And I'm going to show you. So I mixed all the dry ingredients already. And you can see it. The green chunks in there, that's coconut. The green spectrum got all over the coconut. So these are just chunks of coconut here. But that's what makes it green. And so I've already got, is that liquid enough to use?
Nice and mirrory. I've literally just been stirring it because it's fun to look at.
It's fun
so
to look at.
Cooks in the kitchen. I love it. You got all these sous chefs.
I do. They've been helping me all morning. So this is pretty goopy. You can see how sticky this is.
Yeah.
So this is honey and tropic oil and molasses. Now, why did I choose molasses? And I realized on a base, I forgot to put molasses on that list. Molasses is really high in minerals. And when it's mixed into this, it tastes caramely. You don't want to use too much. So it's 1 3/4 cup honey to 1/4 cup molasses. You don't want to do too much. It was what, 1/2 cup of tropic oil, I think is what we put in here.
Yeah.
And if you want to be really creative, and I always want to be really creative, you get your ionic elements out, and you might notice that I am using all the ingredients from the family nutrition pack because I'm smart at marketing that way. So I'm going to throw some ionic elements in there, and we're going to stir that in there too. Let's make it more nutrient dense. It won't change the taste because there's not enough in there to change the taste. The fulvic acid in that is going to help you absorb all this nutrition. All right, so we mix the dry, we melt it down the wet. Now, here's something that you need to know. Coconut oil and honey do not like heat. You have to melt the coconut oil unless you're like in Hawaii and it's just already liquid anyway. But I don't live in Hawaii, I live in Colorado. So we had to melt it. So you do it on the very lowest heat you can. All right. And then dump it. So I'm going to let you guys dump and stir. We'll show them.
I want to stir it.
Well, you can stir it. And they're going to stir and get that all together because you have to stir it really good and get it all coated and get it all together. And you guys don't need to watch me do that. I'll let them do that off to the side. And they're going to stir it all. And then they are going to, while I do other things, you put it on a cookie sheet with wax paper. And I use this, it's a potato masher, to bash it down to get it all even. You could use the back of a spoon or whatever happens, put a little coconut oil on it just so it doesn't stick because the honey's sticky, and you're gonna mash it down in there. I've got 2 trays here though. So they're gonna work on that. And then the final level of this is gonna be the chocolate that goes on top. And that is what really makes it stick together because the honey, in order to harden it enough, you'd have to heat it more. And I want to do that. So how do I make it stick together? Chocolate. So we'll come back to that part after they get this part done. I love having helpers in the kitchen. And we're going to move to the other aspect. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to show you the other idea here. All right. So mocktails and popsicles is another great summer snack. And this doesn't just have to be for kids. The one I'm doing today is actually very adult-like. But you want to pick a liquid, water, coconut milk, or any kind of nut milk, juice or juice concentrates like the apothecary, high water fruits like watermelon or grapes, anything that you can use as a base. Pick your superfoods based on the flavor you want to make them with. I use the juice bar in a bag a lot when I'm creating drinks like this. But you can use all the greens, the power shakes. If you're going to use the power shake and you don't want it to change the flavor, use the original. If you like the appleberry flavor and you want to make a strawberry, raspberry, blackberry mocktail, use the appleberry. But the original power shake is very sweet because of the carrots and the oats in it. But it's not so overwhelming in green flavor that you can really taste it. It blends really, really well. And I'll show you an example of that in just a little bit as well. But your ionic elements, your more greens, your cherry, your MVP sports and kids, you get the idea. And then you can add in your flavors with fruits. So I'm going to actually show you one of these recipes. So got my Vitamix. Today we are making, watch out, kiddo. Here, I have to unplug the light, put it in the other plug. I'm trying to have a professional kitchen with professional lighting. I'm not a professional cook like this, though, guys. So bear with me. All right, so here's what we're using. We used to go to a restaurant called Life Kitchen. And at that restaurant, they had the best cucumber mint drink you've ever had in your life. It was refreshing. It was sweet. The kids loved it. I loved it. The restaurant closed. Everybody was sad that we no longer could have the cucumber mint. So I thought, I can create it. And I had asked them what's in it. And they used a base of sugar and agave nectar. And well, that's not the worst thing ever. I was like, oh, I can do way better than that. Hand me the spoon, please, Kason. So instead, I used watermelon. This right here is 2 mini watermelons. I cut both of them because my kids love watermelon. So watermelon is all by itself is a really good snack. Look, she's gonna start taking it. But this recipe calls for 1 mini watermelon. Grab me one of those watermelons, Casey, and we'll show them what the size is. It ends up filling your blender about 3/4 of the way full. So that gives you an idea of how much watermelon you're using based on this. In fact, what?
There's measurements on the
See,
side.
the watermelon, right now Costco has organic mini watermelons. So we start with the watermelon. Now, you want it frosty, all right? You want it cold. So that's the watermelon sat in the refrigerator overnight. Where'd the lid go? I'm just gonna take that to it.
Thank you.
Give that to it. But I wanted it to be frosty and kind of icy, but if you use ice, then you water it down. So I froze the cucumber instead. So you're gonna still get that frostiness. This is the recipe that I sent to you, Steph, that will get posted for you guys. I had mini watermelons or mini cucumbers in there because they're easy to freeze. But I didn't have many cucumbers this time. I had these. And so this is one of these that I just froze. I just cut up and froze it. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'm going to use about half of this. Does that give you guys everybody give me a nod if that makes sense? All right. So I'm going to use about half of this. My kids are probably, well, you're going to eat all the watermelon. So if you want more of this, I can't make it if you eat all the watermelon. They're over here eating all the watermelon. So I'm going to use about half of that cucumber.
We have to make more. It's too good.
All right. And now what flavors are going to go with this? Well, green spectrum, right? Green spectrum is going to work with it because you've got that cucumber flavor in it already. And so let me pull up my recipe so I'm looking at it so I'm getting this right. It's just a tablespoon of green spectrum. You don't want to overwhelm it, but I already have my scoop in here. So you got your tablespoon of green spectrum. And I made this for a healthy happy hour a few years ago. And I had about 20 kids here, all under the age of 10. Not all of them ate an organic diet. About half of them ate the standard American diet. I had to make 5 of these. They stood in line out the door onto my deck. They loved it. So you're gonna do a tablespoon of the, it's okay. She's worried about the sound from the wax paper in the background. Just deal with it. They'll deal with it. It's good. He can't do it. Oh, she's telling her brother to stop eating the watermelon, you guys. All right. Welcome to my world, everyone. So tablespoon of green spectrum, 2 tablespoons of biofruit. Look at that. Look at all that vitamin C you're getting in your drink. And then what else goes with this? It's a good general flavor. Aloe Digest. Tastes like apples, makes everything sweeter. You're gonna do a scoop or a serving. They used to have scoops when I made this recipe. Now it's a serving of the Aloe Digest. And then Lior wants me to make sure that you all know what, Lior. You tell him.
Yeah, you tell me.
No, you're the one who did it. You tell him.
Okay, fine. Aloe Digest dries up breast milk. So if you have a baby, don't eat it.
Yes, aloe can constrict and dry up breast milk. And so everybody, if you're breastfeeding a baby, know that. I've seen people drink it fine and be fine, and I've seen people drink it and it start to affect their milk supply. So be aware. All right, and then I actually,
Jodi, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that, Laura. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so if you're at the end of breastfeeding and you're trying to dry up the breast milk, the Aloe Digest, be all over it.
No more breast milk. We're done. Yeah. Been there.
And then these are out of my garden. This is cucumber mint, but I didn't say cucumber peppermint because I like spearmint. So we got 2 leaves of peppermint and 2 leaves of spearmint.
Nice.
Just put them in there. And then you just blend. It's that easy. So I'm going to blend it really quick. So sing the Jeopardy song in your head for the next 30 seconds. Are you going to mute it? Okay, Stephanie, talk. I'll mute.
I'm happy to do that. So one of the things that it was asked in the chat is, can we bake the epigenous? And so my first inclination is to say no, but I'd love for anyone else on the council, maybe Taz, you do this quite a bit. Can you speak to baking our superfoods?
Right. So I don't like to bake our superfoods, right? You can use them raw, but like what Jodi was saying, you melt the tropic oil and then you add it in. So you don't have to heat it up. The ones that I like to bake with is the MVP kits. This one you can cook with, okay? But all the ones that have all the greens, just try to make them raw. And the recipe that Jodi's making right now, they're all raw, you know? So it's so easy to incorporate this in your lifestyle.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I may have missed any other questions in the chat, but if anyone else has them, we will have Q&A at the end more so. But my mouth is watering just watching Jodi put all that
Right,
into the vitamin, right?
There it is. Uh-oh, I didn't, you know what? I didn't get all the cucumber. It
Blended?
didn't all blend. I needed to blend longer, you guys. I was trying to hurry it on. This is the problem.
No, no, you're fine. Take your time,
Right.
reblend it if you want to.
Patience is the key, guys.
All right, so there's that. Joshua,
Yes.
I'm gonna trade places with you. You're taking over.
All right.
You're gonna teach everybody about ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps.
My favorite thing.
It's my husband's favorite flavor.
Thanks, Joshua. We all know Joshua. Welcome back, buddy.
Hi.
Hi, I
I'm
love
back.
your t-shirt. I love your t-shirt. It's awesome.
Thank you. I love it too. All right. So here, let's move this out of the way.
Oh, here, I got it.
You got it.
Mhm.
So, this recipe also came in when we were doing, when we were going to Disney World. In fact, we wanted to make healthy snacks that we could take with us, that we could just munch on as we were walking around, you know? So my mother created the ginger snaps recipe. So it's really, all it is it's dates as a base to kind of keep it all together and add a little bit of sweetness. And then we added MVP Sport Vanilla, original Power Shake, and original Daily Fiber. So none of the flavored ones, just the original versions of them. And it made this little, actually in this food processor right here, it makes this little like cookie slab thing. That
That's how
tastes
you
like
know
ginger
it's
snap
done.
cookies. So you know it's done so you're blending it in your food processor, right? You
Wait,
know it's
wait,
done.
hold on one second, Joshua. How does it
Yeah.
taste like ginger?
I forgot to say we add so we add a little bit of salt. Then we add actual ginger, so ginger powder, so 2 tablespoons.
It's on the Million Mom Movement
So, yeah,
website,
we add-
guys.
That we add nutmeg and we add cinnamon, and that's what gives it its flavor. So this is kind of the
you.
base. This makes it healthy. So all of this to keep it together makes it healthy, gives it its texture, and then this stuff gives it its flavor.
So
Yummy.
that's
tell them the process behind what you go through.
So the first thing I do is I get all the dates together.
Costco, they actually, there's no pits in them, so you don't have to pit them.
Oh, I
which is
love
really
that.
Nice. 'Cause
That's
when we first started it, we had to pit the dates, and it like took half an hour, and
Right.
so it was not fun.
Are those
So-
organic dates, Joshua?
Yep,
Cool.
all organic dates. So
Yay.
you get your dates. So you measure out your dates, right? And that's actually really the longest part, other than blending, is putting all the dates in. Because for me at least, I check for pits and stuff, just because I've had this one stray pit once that was in there, and it was like I had to dig through the mixture to find it, and it wasn't fun. It was like a little treasure hunt, except you didn't get the treasure at the end. So Sure. But so you do that, and then you put the dates in, and you add all your ingredients, right?
So
And then-
it's, tell them how much it is
How much? What?
of each ingredient.
Okay. So
You've got it memorized.
yeah, but it's the scoop system. So.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Well, so I do 1 scoop of the Daily Fiber, the original Daily Fiber. I do 2 scoops of the Power Shake, original Power Shake, and then I do 4 scoops of the MVP Sport Vanilla. And my recipe is slightly different because after I've made this actually a lot. After a while, I found kind of like my preference on how I like the texture and everything. So I added a little bit here or there. And so then it's 3/4 teaspoons of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of the salt, whatever salt you want. We use Himalayan pink salt, but you can use whatever salt you want, really.
Well, it has to be sea salt.
Sea salt, yeah. I prefer the like bigger chunks in the Himalayan sea salt because it does add a little crunchy texture sometimes. Like you get some bites and it has a little texture in it. So I like it as some added texture, right? And then I do a teaspoon of ginger and a teaspoon of cinnamon. And when I put all the ingredients in the food processor, I like to spread them out evenly. It just makes the blending process faster and everything distributed better. And so when you're blending it, it'll go through a couple stages. When you first start it, it'll sound really bad because all the dates are being cut up. Once you get past that, it looks very beige, like the color of the MVP Sport Vanilla. It's like a beige powder going around in there. And then it'll turn green. When it turns green, it means it's starting to stick together and everything's starting to homogenize.
Good word.
And when it turns green, at least on our food processor, up on this rim around here where the lid is, some of the like MVP and stuff all the powders like to sneak up into it and like make this little powder ring. So I like to actually take the lid off, get rid of that powder ring, and then put the lid back on when it starts turning green, just so you don't open it up and there's dust everywhere, and you know, it's just kind of annoying.
And Joshua, did you say how many dates you used for those?
2 cups of dates.
2 cups of dates. Thank you.
The website is the recipe is on the
ginger
website.
Snaps.
They're called healthy ginger snaps on the website. So if you go to the Million Mom website and under recipes, you'll be able to find the recipe to make it yourself. The final stage is where it turns into this loaf, this ball. It's when it all sticks together, and it'll actually, in the processor itself, I have not messed with it, shaped it at all. It shaped itself like this. So you know it's done when it starts spinning around the food processor in this shape. And so, yeah, there you go.
And usually right before it does that, there's these little tiny balls, and it's fun to watch them chase each other.
It slowly grows and grows.
All right, move that.
Thanks, Joshua.
Yeah.
We're going to show you. So you just tear it off. All right. So our family, this will be gone within 20 minutes of Fierce Friday being over. We usually make 2 of these on a night when all 5 of us are eating them because they're a favorite. But if you wanted to travel with them or secure them, literally you can see it's like dough. You can make it into balls. You can smash it into a cookie. The picture on the website, that is literally what I did. We were in Hawaii. They asked me for a picture. I was on vacation when I put this up on the website. They wanted a picture. I made a cookie out of it. I put some cool Hawaiian flowers around it, took a picture, sent it in. So that is what you're seeing when you look at it on the website. And if you want to store it, you can just use the Purium silicone bags. This probably won't stick. If you use less MVP, it will. He had to make it brace safe when he got braces. It was too sticky originally because we didn't use quite as much MVP Sport. Now it's not, you can see it's not sticking to my hands.
So the recipe I gave you was my brace safe recipe. So I tinkered with the recipe until it was.
You gonna do it?
Oh, right.
My hands
So,
here. You guys.
Thank you guys for letting me share with you my favorite little mix.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's my husband.
Russ, welcome.
All right. He is not this awkward. He really isn't. He's doing this to me on purpose.
He likes that.
How are you guys?
Welcome, Russ.
We wanted to show you something that we make that's fast.
Okay, cool.
So this is the the carrot cake breakfast pudding. Is the way I describe it. So I also use the original Power Shake for this, and I'll usually put 3 or 4 scoops in because I like it. And
But for your kids, just use 2.
1 or 2 would be fine for kids.
For kids, do 2 scoops Power Shake and
2 scoops MVP Sport.
vanilla.
Vanilla. Yeah. It would be a little weird with chocolate, but
I mean, you could do it. I bet
you
it
could
would
do it.
taste fine.
Actually, I have done it, and it's not as good, frankly.
Let me
So-
just stop you for 1 second, Russ. Jodi, if we don't have MVP Sport in our kitchen, can we use Epigenius or Love instead?
Love would probably work. Epigenius would not, because you're making carrot cake, not chocolate carrot cake.
Thank you. But if you wanted to
so-
make chocolate, you could.
If you wanted to make chocolate carrot cake, I still wouldn't use Epigenius because it has too much of a berry flavor. I'd use MVP Kids because it is just straight chocolate flavor.
Okay,
so
thank you.
For Epigenius, I would make raspberry chocolate cake. is what I would do.
Oh, okay, got it, got it. It changes the whole flavor profile.
Carrot juice plus 2 scoops.
2 tablespoons.
Well, yeah, 2
We
tablespoons.
kept all the scoops when Purium used to have scoops, so we just keep the scoops in there, but it's 2 tablespoons. And you can see we use it a lot because he's at the silicone bag point.
So I can't get that second scoop out effectively. So there, and then this is our pumpkin spice because we like pumpkins in this household.
It's your handwriting. You're the one who spelled it wrong.
No, I didn't spell it right. I intended
that
to
was
do
intended, Mommy. That was actually intended.
because
was
I
there.
happen to be a big fan of the Smashing Pumpkins, which I commonly refer to as the pumpkins. So that's it. Add water to
Not
make
too
it
much.
not too much.
How much water?
No idea.
He has no
I
idea.
do it by
No, it's-
sight. I do
yeah.
it by sight so that it's a thick consistency
So
like a
if
pudding.
you're a type A person and you need guidelines around how much water, half of what you would use if you were making a shake.
Okay,
About half. So if you're
That's
using
helpful.
8 to 10 ounce, like if you're doing a 10 ounce, well, that much, 2 scoops of all of that, you'd need, a full shaker bottle. You need 24 ounces. You
right.
end up needing about half of that, and and stirring it, and it's pudding consistency instead of a drink
yum.
consistency.
Okay, cool.
And then what I'll do is I'll either I'll crush walnuts into it,
Ooh, yum.
or sometimes like now I'm putting nutso butter in it. So
It's mixing.
So
So go
I'm gonna
mix
go
it
mix
and
it
show
and
it.
eat it.
Yeah, and eat it.
Delicious. And then
So
Jodi,
I wanted to show you how easy that was. Oh, sorry.
that's okay. I love it. I love that Russ. It's the whole family. So can I find these recipes online? Yes, you can, Carla. You can find them at millionmommovement.info/recipes. Except for, do you have that carrot cake one on there, Jodi?
I don't. All it is 2 scoops MVP Sport, 2 scoops Sport Vanilla, 2 scoops Original Power Shake, 2 scoops Carrot Juice Plus.
Looks like we're gonna
That's
have
it.
to add some more recipes.
Right? And then
spice.
you put pumpkin spice, or if you just want to put
Spice.
like cinnamon and nutmeg in it, that's what gives it the flavor. And
Okay.
if you throw walnuts on top, it tastes like carrot cake.
And
But I
so,
make a shake like that. I make my shake with that mix. So it's
Right.
carrot cake shake.
so you
I
could
don't want-
throw chia into that. You could throw hemp seeds into that. Like if you wanted to enhance it, you could do those things, right?
Well, if you wanted to make actual carrot cake, you'd use dates. And when I did it, I used dates as a base, just like Joshua's ginger snaps. And I added some raisins because it sweetened it up a little bit. And
Okay.
I added some actual oats. And then the Original Power Shake, the MVP Sport, the carrot cake, or the carrot juice plus, and the spices. And you blend it and you can make a ball just like we did with the ginger snaps. So that's the beauty of that base of, once you figure out a base, if you want to use almonds or whatever you want to use, then you kind of get a pattern with it and then you can make different flavors. So
Okay,
like,
Russ is being Vanna White back there showing us what it looks like when it's all, yes. Okay, beautiful. Okay, whoa, so green. Wow. Okay, that's Power Shake. Amazing.
So good. I'm gonna go eat now.
Thanks, Russ. So
So you
happy
made
to have you
one?
here.
all right, so Kaysen just made this up. Can you see that?
Yes.
MVP Kids, powdered coconut milk, and barley greens.
And 3 scoops of barley.
3 scoops, so it's 1.5 MVP.
MVP, 1 spoonful.
Get
of coconut
creative,
milk powder
okay?
And 3 scoops of
Different-
barley greens.
Different people are going to have different taste buds. This one, Kaysen, come here. You move. No,
No.
she hates being on camera. Can you tell? Barley greens your favorite? Yes.
It's like
How much? Oh, you just turned it off. She just turned our light off, you guys.
Ow.
Technical difficulties. Woo.
Okay,
Please
quick,
stand
hurry,
by.
quick, please stand by. We're having technical difficulties. All right, so tell them what you do with your morning cereal.
So in the mornings I cook some buckwheat. And then I add. We both cook the
Well,
buckwheat.
I cook the buckwheat.
Leora.
I do 2 scoops.
And then they fight
of
about who cleans it up.
MVP Kids. About 4 to 5 scoops of barley greens, and sometimes a banana or some honey, and sun butter, which is sunflower seed butter.
Yeah.
So I asked him to do this. I asked him to make a yogurt, just like, we call it Purium yogurt is what we call, or you could call it Purium pudding. But he's gonna mix this up. So this is just powdered coconut milk and MVP Kids and barley greens. And bring them over, Joshua. We went shopping yesterday, can you tell? And we have these beautiful big strawberries. And now we're going to dip the beautiful big strawberries into the chocolate pudding mix as if it's a dip. And then your kids are getting their fruit, and they're getting their protein, and they're getting their good fat from the coconut milk, and they're getting their greens, and they think they're getting a treat.
And
Mom
I'm gonna
win.
eat the strawberries because they're so sweet.
So he's mixing that back behind us right now. There you
What's
go.
he mixing it with, Jodi?
Water.
Just water.
Now, if you don't have powdered coconut milk, because we had the powdered coconut milk.
Sure, sure.
If you don't have powdered coconut milk, then you could just use coconut milk
Okay,
and
great.
instead of water. And again, it's just a consistency thing. You just don't want to have so much. You just use enough liquid so that it's thick enough to dip.
Okay. And do you get your coconut powder from a local store, or do you order it online?
Where did we order it, Russ?
Thrive.
From Thrive? I think we ordered it. Grab that so we can show them what it is.
Costco had it, then we had to get it at a different place, Thrive Market, because Costco decided not to carry it anymore, I guess. I don't know. But
Okay. Ooh, wow, beautiful.
His
Yummy.
strawberry, he says.
Oh my gosh, that looks amazing.
You see how easy that was?
Yum.
So
Thanks,
easy.
Jason.
All
Thank
right,
you
give
so
me.
much for sharing your favorite food.
Joshua, get rid of these for me.
oh, I would like to make the point of that these 3, so the original daily fiber, original power shake, and MVP Sport vanilla, along with the dates, are really what we use as a base for a lot
Or
of our
any kind of cookie,
snack bar stuff.
Not all of them.
And you can just change the flavor based on what you put in it. So if you wanted to do a chocolate, like I made a chocolate almond coconut bar, like the ginger snaps, but instead of the MVP Sport vanilla, I use the MVP Kids chocolate. And I like chocolate, so I add extra cacao powder because it's not chocolate enough for me. So I add some cacao powder to that as well. So if you're really like chocolate, then you just add the cacao.
Perfect. Awesome.
Look what we have.
Oh, cool.
Lighting paper.
Writing paper. Hand me the pot behind you.
Ow. Come on, mommy.
Watch out. All right.
You have been potted.
Look, I have my own burner in front of me and everything.
Impressive.
So that, where's the MVP Kids? Okay, so I need the MVP Kids.
They stole
So-
it. It's his now.
Yes, it's mine.
This is what the chocolate broccoli bars look like once you get them all laid out. All right, I've got 2 pans of this, just half the recipe if you don't want this much. I have 2 teenage boys
Hey,
and a
See, two.
husband.
hey, am I like a ghost? in here?
Or
And
Jodi,
the foodie.
You don't need, see, what you don't know is that teenage boys are known for like eating, like they have a hollow leg.
Tell me
Yeah.
about it.
so Jodi, if you made the amount, if you didn't have the recipe, you could cut it up and like put it in a mason jar and stick it in the fridge, right? Or the freezer
Yep,
to have
um,
it for an extended period.
yep, or what I do when I travel with it is I put the 2 sides, the sticky honey side together so that the chocolate's on the outside, and I make it into a sandwich, and I wrap it in wax paper so that if I'm traveling and it melts a little bit, it's okay. And so then you can eat it like it's a sandwich, and you can just stack it in bars in the freezer and just leave, or in the refrigerator. And then
Leora.
she's so excited. I put them in the silicone bag.
Perfect. Perfect. Love it.
And then it's easy to travel with because on the way home, you don't have any food left and you're not trying to get rid of plastic or get rid of, you didn't bring glass with you. You just roll it up in your suitcase and you're done. So the second part of this is super, super easy. All I'm gonna do, these are those fair trade 70% chocolate chips. And I'm gonna add that with some coconut milk or coconut oil, the tropic oil, and MVP Kids. And then you can sneak whatever you want into it. Carrot Juice Plus, Biofruit, barley greens, ionic elements. The Can't Beat This would change the flavor. So would the Aloe Digest. I wouldn't use any of the more fruity things like that. Leave the fruity things for your mocktails. I make another one with mango and pineapple and cocoa hydrate. And, you get the idea, and you just throw one of the protein powders in there that you can hide and throw some greens in, and ta-da, you're good. But I melt this all together and I pour it on top. And then I put it either in a refrigerator or a freezer. We have one of those like trunk freezers. So I can just set it on top just so that the chocolate hardens and sets. And then you literally just slice it.
Perfect.
Really easy. Well, we're about out of time. So if I try and make it, we're going to run out of time. But the picture, you guys saw the picture. You saw the final thing. But all you do is pour it on top and spread it out evenly. And cool it, and that's it.
So real quick, I feel like there's a bigger point with all of this in a sense is just experiment with it, have fun, throw in a bunch of fruits and some of the Purium in a blender, blend it all together and try it, just experiment with it. That's how we created all of this.
That's how I found my lollipop.
You want to know my newest idea? Last
Sure.
morning when I was thinking about this and how else can I showcase other products? Joshua's favorite flavor is chocolate mint, and so is my husband's. And then we have the cocoa mint spirulina. And if you took the MVP Kids and the cocoa mint spirulina and some water and an avocado and a fresh piece of peppermint, like literally cut a fresh leaf or even two, depending on how much you like peppermint, and blend it and throw it in the freezer, you've got popsicles. You've got literal fudgesicles, because what makes fudgesicle different is the creaminess of it. And if you can't use or don't want to use dairy, we literally can't. It would make us all sick, but some people just choose not to. Avocado is a flavor that doesn't overwhelm and is especially hidden by chocolate, but it gives you that creaminess that you miss if you're not doing dairy. So I'm going to try that. I will report back to you because I haven't done it. And the other thing, Leora, grab those ice cube containers. The frogs or Kason, one of you, they're all eating. They're walking around in circles around the kitchen island. You're seeing the short end of the kitchen island. You can get these silicone things. This is frogs because
Cute.
we did chocolate frogs for a Harry Potter birthday party, and I did melt chocolate and coconut oil and put MVP Kids in those chocolate frogs. And
Amazing.
I had no idea.
Never knew. I love it.
But you can get silicone or stainless steel popsicle containers, or you can just do it in an ice cube tray. Do what works. Play with the flavors that you love, and the more nutrient dense, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Well, you guys are all getting a lot of love in the chat, and we just have a couple minutes left. I want to open it up if there's any questions at all. We maybe have time for 1 or 2 questions if you want to ask Jodi or her family. Any questions about anything that was shared? It's so good. Thank you so much. I took a ton of notes just because I'm that person. And but you can find all these except for maybe one, what the carrot cake breakfast pudding, that's not on the website, but we'll get that up there.
It's just mixing Purium products. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Make pudding, just use less liquid.
It's like a Purium shake with less liquid. That's how you can think of it, really. So.
And I do that with any of my shakes. Like one of my favorite combos, appleberry power shake, apothecary, cocoa hydrate, and Can't Beat This. You're welcome. It's that good.
I love the creativity. It's so inspiring. Are you guys inspired? Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Parker family. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come here.
you're
Come here.
you're welcome.
Their mouths are
You're
all full.
welcome.
Yes, we are a safe family.
I wish we were there with you right now so we could enjoy all those treats and
No,
snacks. but
mine.
we-
You don't get
Mine.
it. It's mine
I
now.
know they're all
Mine. Mine.
Yes, it
So-
really is my world. They're not putting on an act.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Well, we all have our own Purium pantries. And if you don't, if you're finding us for the first time and you want to know more about how you can get these amazing organic, potent superfoods into your diet, just go ahead and talk to the person that invited you to be here and they will hook you up. Thank you for being a part of this community, Jodi Parker and the entire Parker family and everyone else who joined us here today. I want to just pivot for a moment here because next Friday, we are business forward, right? So we balance the health and the wealth here. That's what we do. And next Friday, we have got Leslie Zan, who is a very important person in our Purium family. She is our corporate trainer and she is coming next week to talk with us all about mindset. So if you are a Purium brand partner, if you are a Purium, a Million Mom Movement scholarship recipient, you will not want to miss Leslie Zan next week. I'm so excited to bring her on Fierce Friday for the first time ever. She is amazing. She is a delight. She's funny. And yeah, a very, very, very valuable hour we'll be having with Leslie Zan. So I want to thank each and every one of the council for being here today. And yeah, thanks for being a part of this community. We cannot move this movement forward without you. If you're inspired by what Jodi shared, get on the social networks, go live, talk about how excited you are to be bringing superfoods more so into your family's pantry, into your diet, into the way that you're making food for your family, creating snacks, etc. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy Fierce Friday. Go out there and change lives. We love you. Mwah. Yeah, to your health. Right on, Jodi. Bye, everyone.